Hello, everyone. For those of you that don't know, my name is Ashley, and I am a big fan of Sid Haig. Uh, I mean, he's just wonderful. Uh, all of his performances in his movies are just great. He he's one of those few actors that just doesn't turn into bad uh, performance at all. And I had this idea to do a top 10 movie list, my top 10 movies of his. Um, I had planned on doing this for his birthday last week, but other things got in the way, and having five dogs around the house, it just makes it impossible to get things done. So, but anyway, I'm doing it today, and I want to point out that just because a movie isn't on my list um, doesn't mean that I don't like it. Uh, I like a lot of his movies, but there's only 10 spots, so I have to pick 10 of them, and that's um, I guess I don't really have a particular criteria of my ranking. I guess these are just movies that whenever I think about watching something of Sid's. These are the movies that I guess I think about the most often, or movies that, uh, I've seen them in have um, that have left an impact, or that I really liked. Sorry for my dog barking if y'all can hear that, but anyway, now I do really like the movies that he did in the Philippines. Those are probably my favorite, and I did uh, I did choose to restrict myself because there's seven of them, and I didn't think it would be fair to put all seven of them on the list. So I just picked one out of the seven um, to put on the list. So anyway, I might as well just go ahead and get right to it. I'm gonna try to not ramble on for too long about each movie. I'll try to be quick about it. So my number 10, I chose High on the Hog. Um, there were other movies that I considered putting in this spot. I considered putting Cynthia, because that's I really enjoyed that movie, and I like Sid's character in that, and I like the twist at the end in that movie, because for his character in that movie, because throughout the movie you think, oh well, he's a nice police detective, and well, turns out at the end he's not really all that great. But and I also considered putting the Forbidden Dance in this spot because I mean, yeah, it's not the greatest movie, but it's fun, and I think if you go into the mindset that okay, this is not going to be you know an award-winning movie, and just go in thinking this is just going to be a fun movie, then it's good. And um even though Sid hardly has any dialogue in it, it's great. But anyway, Hide in the Hog is number 10. This is just a fun movie, and uh yeah, it's not to everyone's taste. It is a movie that's an acquired taste, but it's fun, and I think the actors in it are great. Like, the supporting cast is great, and um, you have Maniac Cop Robert Zadar in it, and you have one of the Estevezes in that as well. So, but yeah, I really like Sid's character in this, because this is a different character than what you typically see him play. Uh, he's just a guy that uh, he really cares about his so-called uh, uh, his family, and he's just a farmer, trying to make a living, and decides to grow marijuana, to and I actually like the representation of the farming life that the movie shows, because it is a hard life. Um, my family has been in the farming business for generations, and it's tough. It's really tough. And farmers are very protective over their land and everything like that. That's certainly true, and probably even murder over it sometimes. Anyway, but yeah, that's my number 10. I really like the scene with Sid uh, in the church. I guess given his confession, I really like that scene. I think it shows how dynamic of an actor Sid is, and just you know just how great and lovely he is. Um, and I don't have any notes written down for any of these movies on my list. I'm just going on the fly. I probably should have written some notes. I probably should have written some notes down, but that's um, so. Now moving on to my number 9. So number 9 on my list is 40 Days of Mustadah. I guess that's how you pronounce that. But first of all, look at Sid's beard. That is amazing. I love his beard. Anyway, but this movie is, I think, an essential watch if you want to find out more about the Armenian genocide, and it's based off of an actual event, even though it lasted for longer than 40 days. It lasted for 53 days, I think, but of course 40 days has a biblical meaning to it. But yeah, this is a really good movie, I think, and Sid plays on the fortunately on the evil, on the bad side. He's a general in the Turkish military, and but he does an excellent job. I mean, his character is just so evil, and um, it really it really makes you hate the Turkish military more in the movie, and and yeah, it can be a bit hard to watch at times. I remember that there's just one particular scene in which the son of the leader of the resistance group um, is assaulted, and so that's a bit hard to watch, but again, a very good movie, and I put this as number 9 because um, it's a movie about something that actually happened that sadly doesn't get discussed about um, too often to this day, even though it happened over 100 years ago. It's something that people tend to not want to discuss too much about, and it's very important and meaningful for Sid because he is Armenian, for those of you that don't know. And I know this movie was probably very I know this movie was very important for him to take part in, even though he had to play the play the part on the enemy side. But yeah, his performance is excellent, and just like I said, really really makes you hate the Turkish army a lot more throughout the movie. Okay, so my number 8 pick. Some of y'all are going to be a bit upset with me by how low I placed this movie on the list, but there are just movies that above it on the list that I like a bit more, and movies that I think about more often, um, like whenever I want to watch uh, a movie with Sid in it. You know, they're movies that I just think about more often. But my number 8 is um, House of a Thousand Corpses. Um, yeah, I mean, this is a fun movie. Again, you know, it's not a movie that's to everyone's taste. Even those in the horror community, but it is fun, and it pretty put um, Sid back in action, I guess you would say, because he had been away from the business for a bit, uh, even though he did have that appearance in Jackie Brown in '97, but this movie put him back on the map, and you know, uh, and I'm glad for that because just such a great actor, and uh, he's so talented, and just um, he needs to be seen, right? Um, and it would have been unfortunate if he hadn't have gone back into acting, and because a lot of us probably wouldn't even know anything about him today. So um, and and Captain Spaulding is just such a iconic character, and um, and Sid was what made it such an iconic character. I honestly can't see another actor playing the part. I think he's perfect. So okay, my number 7th pick is The Devil's Rejects. Um, I do like this one slightly better than House of a Thousand Corpses, which is why I put it um, at number 7. Um, I do like the change the of the feel of it. I like that it's more like it's not exactly as horror themed like the House of a Thousand Corpses was. It's more of like uh, an action horror kind of like, and it feels a bit more gritty, and a bit more real. I think compared to House of a Thousand Corpses, and uh, and you get to see more Sid of this, more Sid in this. So that's a major plus, uh, and get to see him out of the makeup, which uh, he was probably glad for. He was probably glad that he didn't have to wear makeup throughout the entire movie. And yeah, the picture of this scene. I mean, it's probably the most iconic scene, or one of the more iconic scenes in the whole movie, where he frightens that little boy, and um, yeah, just a really well done scene uh, by Sid and the little boy there. Just And I'm just going to go ahead and say that I personally think that this should have been the last movie. Heads up, Three from Hell is not on my list. um, yeah, that is not on my list. I'll go ahead and say that. But yeah, this definitely should have been the final one. I think it ended just right. I mean, with uh, with with the three of them going in, guns ablazing, and I think that was the perfect ending. But it is what it is, uh, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, that is my number seventh pick. Okay, so my sixth pick is Commando Squad. Um, uh, I just really like this movie. It's fun. Uh, there's Sid's character right there. He's one of the baddies, along with Ross Hagen and William Smith, who I love as well. Ross Hagen is great too. They're like he Ross Hagen. For those of you that are familiar with video games, he's the voice of a character in one of my favorite all-time video games, Red Dead Redemption, the first game from 2010. He's the voice of Landon Ricketts in that game, and so that's cool. Um, but yeah, it has a pretty good cast. The movie overall is fun. Um, it's pretty much about this woman who um, goes into Mexico to try to rescue her boyfriend, who was sent undercover on a mission to stop drug smuggling. And Sid and William Smith and Ross Hagen are part of the gang that is in control of that. And yeah, I love seeing Sid and William Smith and in this. They're the main two baddies in my opinion in this. There's one really like great fight scene where Sid has to at the end of the movie where Sid has to fight the woman and William Smith has to fight this dude right here, her boyfriend, and yeah, it's a really great scene. Sid gets like knocked out by that by that woman, and then William Smith gets ass and knife to the gut. So yeah, yeah, just a great movie overall. I would like for there to be a DVD or Blu-ray release of this movie. I know the director um, Fred Olin Ray has said in in a podcast episode of his that he wants to do a DVD or Blu-ray release of this movie at some point. And Sid and Ross Hagen both went on to do another movie after this one called Warlords. That also stars David Carradine. Um, I don't really quite like that movie as much. I like this one a lot better. I think the story is done a lot better in this, and the action scenes I think are done a lot better. I don't know if the budget for this movie was a little higher than the budget in Warlords, but but in Warlords it just seems like the budget was not there, and I don't know, it was kind of a bit dull, but yeah, this movie's great, and just having all three of those guys in it, it just elevates it for me.